Hello. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah. This is a very impromptu
Yeah, it is.
podcast. So you study law.
Yes, I do.
How are you finding that?
I'm finding it okay, actually. There's a way to describe it. The content of the work is good and it's fun to learn about, but it's the amount of work that there is.
That
So
makes
it's a
it
lot of work. Yeah.
Oof. What's your favorite aspect of it all? Because law is so wide.
Yeah, it is. I hate contract law because that's a lot of terminology, but things like criminal law, really interesting because it's relatable day-to-day stuff that you see happening.
Okay. I can understand why you'd go into that. What made you want to go into criminal law? What is contract law?
Contract law is like you take into consideration how contracts are made, what can break or make contracts, and how people keep contracts.
Sheesh, that sounds dull. Like you'd have to read through every contract.
Literally, that's literally what you have to do.
Oh my
You have
lord.
to make sure clauses and stuff are all in place because the tiniest thing could make or break a contract.
Oof. I remember that I was trying to start a little clothing business with my friends, and we actually ended up recording each other, like when we didn't know, when we were having meetings to
Yeah.
catch each other out, and we were trying to make a contract. And
Yeah, you have to do things like that.
it's hideous. It's kind of like a war ground business.
It really is.
What made you want to go into criminal?
I've just been interested in law in general since I was a child. I found it quite interesting. So I'd always look at cases and stuff for fun, like famous cases, such as the OJ case.
The what case, sorry?
OJ Simpson.
I don't know. I've heard about it. I've heard that.
Oh, it was about an ex-footballer, American footballer, who killed his wife and her ex-lover, but he got away with it.
Jesus. And everyone knows he did it.
Yeah, everyone knows he did it, but he still managed to get away with it because he had a group of lawyers called the Dream Team. So
Right.
they used as many tactics as they could, and he always got free.
That's horrific. Is a dream team like just his group of lawyers, or is it any group of lawyers that can be branded a dream team, like the perfect group?
At the time, they were his group of lawyers, but they were given the name the Dream Team because of how they were able to get him out of it.
That's fucked up. Do you know why he did it?
Probably out of spite and jealousy, if I'm being honest. He stabbed them both to death. So must have been very angry, clearly.
Yeah. Man, I want to say poor guy because that's eating him up inside, but like,
Yeah.
man. Horrific. Have you worked on any cases yourself? Like, studied them as if you were the lawyer?
No, but I tend to look at fictional cases and fictional situations. So from TV shows, I would look at the situations that take place and how I would go about it if I was a lawyer. For example, Power, a really famous American TV show about a nightclub owner who's also a drug kingpin.
Right.
And he kills people, sells drugs, but he always manages to get away with it.
And how would you go about solving his case, do you think? Or a specific scenario?
To put him away, you just have to gather the right pieces of evidence, which no one seems to be able to do.
Okay. Does that attract you, like the criminal side of things as well?
Yeah, for some reason. It's really interesting. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like a team, like you're part of something rebelling against.
Exactly.
Please.
The system.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to rebel against the system?
Who doesn't?
Even Trump rebels against the system in a way.
Yeah, he does.
It's fucked. What do you think about him?
I think he's a very strange man. He's not exactly my favourite person
Yeah.
because he's racist, misogynistic.
Yeah.
No one likes any of those.
Yeah. No. It's ignorant, really.
Very ignorant, yeah.
Trump is strange because he is so good at what he does, which is business.
Yeah, the business side of things is actually quite impressive, but if you take into consideration his morals, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't want to take him in general.
You see that a lot in business.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs was an asshole. Like there would be workers coming up to him and being like, "Hey, Steve, I have this amazing idea. Like, what do you think of it?" He'll be like, "Nah, that's shit. Put it in the bin." And then 1 week after, he'd come up to the same guy and be like, "Hey, man, I came up with this idea." He'd be like, "Steve, I told you that a week ago." No, no, I came up with this. It's horrific. For some reason, business seems to take over the mind with some people. Not everyone. Bill Gates is...
That is how they become successful.
True. Yeah. Do you think you'd ever get down that route? Like, being like immoral to solve a case? Like, let's say you were given a case that you knew if you were able to crack it, kind of like the dream team, you'd go for it.
I would, but at the same time, I wouldn't cross a certain line.
Yeah.
There are some things that I just wouldn't do.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Like, I wouldn't break the law just to...
Yeah, of course. Like, if it was an OJ type case,
Yeah.
you'd back off.
Actually, surprisingly, I wouldn't back off. I'd definitely do my best. But at the same time, I wouldn't cross... I don't think the Dream Team did cross any lines. They used their resources quite well in the
Right.
context of the case, so that's why they were able to get away with it.
So breaking the law is like tampering with evidence, or...
Yeah. They don't do any of that.
That's incredible, yet he still got away.
Yeah.
How on earth? When everyone knows.
I think it's because they played a number of cards. They played the race card, and then there was also a scenario where they made him try on a pair of gloves that he wore, but the gloves didn't fit because they told him not to take his arthritis pills. So his hands swelled up, and the gloves didn't fit. They used it in court.
Isn't that sort of tampering with evidence? Like, it's changing reality to fit the case.
Technically, but no evidence was actually tampered with, if you think about it.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe he just forgot to take his arthritis pills.
Right. That's crazy. Man. Are there any books that you'd recommend for people studying?
You have basic legal handbooks.
Okay.
I think those are the ones I use the most. Just a normal legal handbook. I don't read... Surprisingly, I don't read books actually about law unless it's to do with my work or assignments.
Right.
I would read self-help books or detective books. I read a lot of those.
Oh, that's cool. So you like finding the creative side of it? Or...
Yeah.
Nice. Is the handbook kind of like an encyclopedia? Like, it's got everything you need to know?
Yeah, literally. It tells you how to deal with cases, references, just law in general. Covers quite a lot.
Nice. That's fun. That actually sounds like it's kind of like a game. It sounds, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. If you get into the right one that you enjoy, it's not really work. It's more of a hobby and passion.
Right. Yeah, of course. Man, that's excellent. Are there any rules that stand out to you that you're just like, what?
Any rules?
Yeah, in the handbook. Are they called... Oh, laws. Sorry, yeah, of course.
Oh,
it's law.
Not really. Everything is really by the book. Everything is really, really by the book. So nothing will stand out or be inconspicuous. It will just be what you expected it to be.
Yeah, that's respectable. Nice. Yeah. You're really into music.
Yeah, music is, I'd say, one of the biggest parts of my life. I love music.
You're always listening to music. By the way, for the listeners, Io is my housemate.
Hello.
So every time I'm walking past your room, there's like some cool music going on.
Yeah.
What genre is that? Because there's a lot of like triple high taps.
I listen to very upbeat music, so drill music from the UK originates from gangs and stuff. Then you have hip hop from the US. I love that too. Those are mainly the two genres: drill, rap, and hip hop. I've got loads of favorite artists. Currently, I'm listening to 5 main artists.
What are those?
Lil Uzi Vert, he actually made Album of the Year. Eternal Atake and the deluxe of the album. One of the songs was also Song of the Year, Prices by Lil Uzi Vert. I'd recommend that. It's really good. NBA Youngboy is a really influential rapper from America.
Okay.
From Baton Rouge.
How so?
He's been making music since he was 7, but he's very gang affiliated. He's been in and out of prison all the time. So his music, although he raps about his violent life, he also raps about his pain. And some of the pain songs are really, really sad, but good to listen to at the same time.
Yeah, of course. Even people in those gangs can suffer.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that because it's always painted as like glamorous. Like you take the cocaine or whatever. I don't. Does he rap about drugs at all?
I think he mainly smokes weed and pops pills.
Yeah, nice.
That's like the standard in America.
Yeah, it's just the get by.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, we have beers. In America, they pop pills and smoke weed.
Literally.
Love it. It's really common with rappers to like smoke weed because they get that like that head state, that
Creative,
wave.
creative side. Rappers like NBA Youngboy, Lil Uzi Vert, Quando Rondo, they freestyle their songs. Some of them don't actually write their songs. So they would get high, get into that state, and then go into the studio and just create great music. That's how a lot of them make their songs.
It makes sense. It's not really an academic style of working. Have you ever thought about going into that at all?
I thought about entering the music industry, not making my own music, obviously, but entering the music industry is something that I'd like to do. I feel like it would be fun, but
yeah. What way would you like to enter the industry?
As have my own music label, like record label.
Oh, cool.
So I could sign artists and help unknown artists or low-key artists become bigger. Because there are loads of really underrated artists who are very talented. Because numbers isn't everything in music. So I'd like to help them grow more.
Of course, yeah. That you can have the most talented artist from Brighton, let's say, that's getting out
literally
100 listens. Yeah. But their quality is incredible. Whereas you've got... I don't want to slag anyone off.
Poor rappers that are getting brilliant millions of views.
Yes,
all the time.
Wow. Are there any rappers that you know that are like tiny that you'd maybe like to give a shout out to?
None that I know. Ooh, a boy called Father T from London.
Okay.
He's great, but he's very low key at the moment. He's from London. His music is brilliant. Like Afro swing rap. I recommend everyone to listen to Father T.
Okay.
FARRDA space T.
Sorry, could you spell that out again?
FARRDA T.
Farda T. Farda T. Nice. Okay. What sort of music is Afro swing?
It's like Afro beats, but more hip hoppy, if you know what I mean. I don't know how to define it.
Oh, I've never heard of Afro beats.
Hip hop music, but mixed with African themes. It's difficult to explain, but it's really good.
Yeah, of course. I'll give it a listen.
Yeah, I'll give you some.
Cool, thank you. You've given me another list of suggestions. It's perfect.
Did you finish that list?
I didn't actually. I got about halfway through. I noticed a lot of them are like sort of love songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things I listen to. Love songs or pain songs. They're just really good to listen to.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But as the list goes on, you'll see they get more violent also.
Cool, okay. We'll go from calm and gentle to violent. Lovely. It's weird that it goes back to like how they connect to their soft and passionate side. These hip hop rappers, like that, there's like this anger in them. They like really want to hurt the other side, but then they're so in touch with their lover.
Emotions, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it shows that they're human too. Because a lot of us see these rappers as just influential people who make music and go about their life, but sometimes their music reminds you that they're human too. Because even in NBA Youngboy has 6 kids, 7 on the way, and he's 21. And in his songs he talks about his baby mothers and how he misses them and how he wants to give the world to his kids.
Is it a baby mama, did you say?
Baby mothers, multiple.
Oh, right, okay.
But he talks about them all the time in his songs.
Wow.
So it shows us that he's human too, although people forget he's also a killer at the same time.
Yeah. You saying that, like, it touched an emotion in me. I was like, man, this poor guy. Then you say he's a killer. I'm like, oh, maybe not. He's killing other people's baby mothers. Like, That's fascinating. Would you ever like consider getting into the law side of music?
That's something I've also been thinking about lately. I don't know how exactly to go into it, but it would sound interesting to somehow integrate the professional side of law with music, which I also really enjoy. I feel like that could be a very smart idea.
The provisional side.
Professional side of law
Okay.
with music that I love.
Are there many cases in music that come up, like apart from gangs?
There have been recently, actually, in terms of people copying each other's beats and music, taking each other's samples and using them in their own songs. So people would normally sue for that or things like that.
Yeah. Are they suing?
Hmm?
Are they suing for it now?
Yeah,
Like,
nowadays they're suing for it.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do because you can rap a song like that. Like I could put an instrumental on my phone now and rap into this, and like, but it's the figuring out the mathematics of the whole song and then rapping to that beat. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried making beats?
Surprisingly, no. Something like, I should have tried that when I was younger because I loved listening to music.
Yeah. What age did you sort of get into law?
Probably year 7 or year 6.
Nice. Did that start from like watching detective things?
Yeah, mainly reading detective books all the time. I used to read a lot. I still do. So I just found that side of things interesting.
Wow. There's a thing that's said that like kids that read at a young age have more creative minds when they're older. Do you think you have a more creative mind to like maybe those around you? I think you do. I don't know.
I think I do as well. I'm not too sure because a lot of people around me are creative. But at the same time, I want to say I do have a quite creative mind.
Yeah. I guess everyone does really. Like everyone's mind is great and beautiful because it's been filled up with all this information.
In personal lives.
Yeah.
You just have to tap into it.
Exactly, yeah. Once you tap into that stream of creativity, it just... There's no stopping it.
Opens up a whole new world.
It does, yeah. And then you have rappers on the news or on the top ranks, Lil Uzi Vert. Whether that needs a drug sometimes, like weed or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know of any lawyers that use weed to like solve cases? Has that ever been shown in like a detective story or?
Surprisingly, no. They're just all very brilliant. They would pick up on things that you wouldn't pick up on at first. And then you'd have to start thinking to yourself, how would I pick up on such things?
Wow. Do you ever notice like when you're watching a TV show that you like solve the case before the...
Yeah, you can sort of figure out the ending more or less before it happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Are you especially good at that with all of your law practice, do you think?
Not as much in uni, because when it comes to education, as in you're being very educational, you just have to be really by the book all the time. So it's more difficult to tap into things and see how you would sort it out under pressure. But once you're being more carefree, you're able to look at things how you would like to look at them instead of how the book tells you to look at it.
Right. And then I guess you combine both.
Yeah.
I love that. It's an art in itself. I never would have thought that law would have this art. I thought it was all very much so like men in suits, like you do the thing and get a bit aggressive in court maybe. Does that happen? Like they have it in TV shows where they're like slamming their hands out.
In real life, I guess it does. I've seen a couple YouTube videos where they do get quite aggressive in court.
Man, bit unprofessional, really. Are there rules in the handbook against that, or is it just...
As long as you don't cross a line. Again, there's nothing wrong with being emotional in court, because you do have to sell your story to a jury at the end of the day.
True that. And if you're passionate about your story, you can't just hold it in.
Yeah.
Right.
Whilst the jury are normal humans. They're people with emotions as well, so they will be able to tap in and relate.
Of course, yeah. So you can almost use your emotion
to manipulate.
to manipulate the jury. Do you think actors would get far in like being lawyers if they could really fake it while sticking to the book?
100%, 110%.
Whoa, that's fascinating. Maybe I should be a lawyer.
Could be.
No, I don't know. I worry I'd probably get something horrifically wrong, and maybe. What do you think of Sherlock? Like Sherlock Holmes?
Brilliant detective.
All right. Okay.
It's a shame he's fictional, but he's really, really good.
Yeah.
He barely does anything by the book. He just has a really brilliant mind, which I've never understood.
What sort of things does he break that isn't by the book?
No, he doesn't do anything by the book, but he doesn't break any laws either. He just thinks. He picks up on the tiniest details.
Yeah.
That could lead to an entire case.
Like
he would see gunpowder residue on the ground, and that would help solve his case.
Yeah, that's clever. That's being carefree.
Yeah.
Just letting go.
And he did consume opium. He did consume a sort of drug.
I think I've heard of that. I think it was opium, yeah. Wow. It makes sense. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Maybe he was on it as well.
Probably.
Just seshing, writing books about a man seshing.
Solving cases.
Yeah, solving cases. That's brilliant. Amazing. Are there any other lawyers that you know about that like break the law but get away with it?
Fictional or non-fictional?
Ooh. Both. Yeah, non-fictional, I guess.
I don't know a lot of non-fictional lawyers because there aren't any famous ones, I'd say, but there are many fictional lawyers that I love. So I need to do more research into the real life ones.
Yeah.
Because you have lawyers like Annalise Keating on How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, yeah.
She's probably one of the most brilliant lawyers in the world if she was real.
Yeah.
Because she literally gets away with murder.
True. She committed the murder or?
No, but you could tell her that you did the murder and you'll still get away with it.
Wow. That is incredible. How do you know how she solved that? Does she manipulate the evidence at all?
No, she's just very smart. She tends to twist things onto the other side of the case.
Right, so putting the blame on them.
Yeah, she's the defense. She'll twist it on the opposition, get away with it.
So are there tactics like that? Like some people prefer like defending by saying my person didn't do this and this, whereas there's other people that would say the other guy did this and this, which caused.
Yeah. So she could throw away the whole case by saying, a couple of years ago this lawyer tampered with evidence, did you not? And they'll throw away the whole case because of that. Small things like that she would find. She wouldn't focus on the person in her case. She wouldn't focus on who she's defending. She'd focus on the other side. So every time she gets a case, she'd be like, find me everything you can on this, this, and this.
Yeah. Wow, that is horrific. That's like business in a way, back to like the contracts.
Literally.
Picking apart another person.
Tiniest thing.
That's a bit evil.
She is immoral, but she does get the job done.
That's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Is she a lecturer at university? I've seen the first season.
Yeah, she also teaches law.
Wow.
It's interesting because the show's How to Get Away with Murder, and her students commit murders accidentally. Her students killed someone.
Okay.
I think it was her husband actually they killed. And
right.
They all still managed to get away with it.
Did she despise her husband?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's understandable then. Men can be assholes sometimes.
They can. Not me.
No, not me either. Oh. Man. What about Judge Judy? What do you think of her? Like, is that realistic, the way she really handles the cases?
I think so, to be fair. Judges are different from lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
So they just have to come to decisions based on what they hear.
Right.
So I think, yeah, that can be quite realistic, if I'm being honest.
Do the judges, like, often get things wrong, do you know?
There isn't anything to get wrong. They just have to come to the decision.
Okay.
So they'll hear two sides of the story and make a decision. That's actually all they have to do.
Just totally unbiased, just reading it.
Mm.
That's understandable, yeah. So they don't have to do any investigating, there's just...
Barely, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a moderator, really, like in a football match.
That's all, yeah.
Damn. That's incredible. Are there any other, like, famous judges that you know?
Judge Rinder.
Oh, right.
On TV, similar to Judge Judy. Yeah.
Okay. Is she a bit, like, aggressive as well?
he is.
Oh, okay.
He's quite funny too.
No way.
Yeah.
He brings comedy into law.
They're literally so humorous. All these judges, Judge Judy, Judge Render, they're so humorous.
That's incredible. Wow. I might have to just watch a few of those clips after this.
You should.
Have a good laugh. And even when it's a serious case, like murder, or that, they're able to find the comedy in it, or...
It depends on the case. I don't think they would break comedy into something as serious as murder.
Okay. Is it like mainly relationships they handle? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are couples court. Couples courts are the funniest. You see African American couples and white couples arguing, and the judge would be so humorous throughout the entire case. I think a comedian went to court with his wife, and he was making the judge laugh. Twist of events.
Did he win the case?
I think so.
Excellent. Wow. Just using comedy. Man. Who knew? That's the way to get away with murder. Make him laugh. That's great. It's kind of like Jimmy Kimmel then. Like, or not Jimmy Kimmel. No, the other guy. Dr. Phil? No. Jeremy Kyle.
Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah. How he would he kind of be a judge then? Because he's solving relationship couples. Like,
I think he'd be a lawyer.
Okay.
But I don't know what side for. Actually, no, he would be a lawyer for the defense, not the opposition.
Okay.
Because people tend to bring him cases against their partner or family.
Right. And he argues against.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Man. What do you use to wind down after a day of work?
Take a guess.
Music.
Yeah.
Nice. You just put on some beats.
Yeah. Depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I'd listen to upbeat music. If I'm tired, I just listen to standard, slow, pain music or love songs.
Mm. What is your happy music?
Lil Uzi Vert. His
Right.
music is really versatile, so his entire album could just make me happy or upbeat, and have other artists as well that I'd listen to. So, Rod Wave.
Okay. I think
Tends to make happy music, but his genre is just pain. His entire discography is more or less pain music.
you should just put that as a genre, just pain.
just pain.
It's all you feel when you're listening to that music.
Honestly.
Wow. So with the happy music that Lil Uzi Vert does, I've listened to a little bit of, what was that album, the newest one you said?
Eternal Take.
Eternal Take.
Mm.
I noticed a lot of it is about like mansions and cars and riches.
Literally.
And not to be misogynistic, but I think he uses this word just like bitches.
Yeah, woman.
Yeah, women, yeah.
All the time.
But that's how he says it. I'm not being rude. Just backing myself up. Is that like sort of playing into a fantasy, do you think?
That's actually the life he lives.
That is really what he does.
That's literally his life.
Wow. Do you think he's using it to escape pain, or?
Yeah, because a lot of his songs do tend to be painful as well. If you look at his old music, he does talk about pain a lot.
Yeah. That makes sense, really. Like running into these fantasies.
To escape his past and pain.
So he's had a hard past.
Yeah.
Jesus. Too many of these rappers have.
A lot of them have. That's why they get into music. It tends to be an escape for them.
Right. And then they make their own. Rise like a phoenix. That's beautiful. Wow. What sort of foods do you like eating?
Homemade food. I'm Nigerian, so I like homemade food. Things such as jollof rice, which is orange spicy rice, red spicy rice.
Okay.
You have pounded jam. It's sort of a yam that you eat with vegetables or stew or soup.
A yam, did you say? Sorry.
Yeah, yam. It's like picky. I don't know how to
Okay.
describe it. Pounded jam. You eat it with vegetables.
Okay. So you like scoop it up with your hands?
Yeah.
Nice,
Really
okay.
nice. In terms of cooking, I like pasta. I love pasta and bolognese. I could eat that all the time.
Yeah.
Cake and custard, one of my favourite desserts.
That's delicious. Yeah.
It really is. And if I want to order food, pizza, I can eat pizza all the time as well.
Classic. What toppings do you go for?
Standard meat feast with barbecue base.
Domino's. Or-
Papa John's and Domino's.
Oh, nice.
You?
Oh, I mainly make my own food. I don't know. I love a good bolognese as well, like pasta.
You tend to like curry.
I do. Yes. You picked up on that.
Yeah. Make all the time.
I do. Curry. Just anything really. I don't know. I can't think of the foods that I make now. Macaroni cheese. I like to make some Turkish meals as well, like bulgur.
Okay.
Do you know what bulgur is?
No?
Oh, it's kind of like couscous, to be fair. but
Oh, okay.
It doesn't get as mushy. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. What sort of where is it that you come from again? Sorry.
Nigeria.
Nigeria, right? What is the wildlife there like?
Beautiful, I say. Beautiful. The animals there are really nice. The temperature is beautiful. The food, the atmosphere is just great. The atmosphere is just great.
I love that. It's so different in a hot country. It feels like it's alive in a way.
Much more alive, you can tell. You can tell when it's nighttime, everything's just still and quiet. But when the sun rises, everyone's about. It's really nice to be.
Yeah, it really brings across the vibe that like a lot of those summery tunes can bring across.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because I'm from Turkey. I lived there for 9 years,
Okay.
and God, when it's sunny, it's walking down the street, just seeing people. It's incredible. It
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it feels
It
like
is nice.
community. Like, do you have more of a sense of community over there?
Yeah.
Like,
I love it.
you know your neighbours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Did you ever live there or?
No, I came here when I was a child, but I've been there to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you speak any Nigerian?
I can speak Yoruba, one of the Nigerian tribes.
Oh, have they got different languages throughout?
Yeah, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. You have multiple. Benin. Lots of my friends are Benin, Yoruba, and Igbo.
Okay. Are there any that like dominate over other sides of?
Not really. They mostly come from they all live within different sides. So you have north, east, south, west.
Oh, okay. So it's all very equal.
Yeah.
Would you be able to like say a word or two? Like, how do you say hello in Yoruba?
Baoni.
Baoni.
Yeah.
Baoni. Am I
Baoni.
saying that right?
Yeah, Baoni.
Baoni. Nice.
Ekale, good night.
Akala. Baoni Akala. Cool. I really like that. It reminds me of like French a bit. It's like a bit poetic.
Yeah, it really is. It's a beautiful language.
Yeah, it is. Nice. Do your families like speak it fluently?
Yeah, when I'm at home, that's all my mum speaks to me. My mum and my dad.
Oh, so you can speak it pretty much fluently.
Yeah, I wasn't taught it, but I picked up on it as I grew.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they just speak that mostly at home.
Wow. Or like at home in England.
Yeah,
Wow. Nice.
like when I see them, they'll mostly speak Yoruba.
That's excellent. I love that. It's so nice being in a home that's diverse. It's like an escape from the British. Not that there's anything wrong with the British, but just slagging the whole country off that I've been living in. But yeah, it's like stepping into a different world. Do you have like all the decorations of Nigeria up as well, or is it looking quite British inside?
It looks quite normal inside, but pictures and stuff would give you an indication.
Right.
Of Africa, Nigeria.
Yeah, that's nice. It's my home back in Dorchester, where my mum and Steve live. They really like that escape of away from the British culture. So they've got all these different Indian things up. They've visited India, but they're not from India.
Oh, okay.
And they've got Turkish rugs everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's literally, it's so diverse. Like,
Sounds
I love it. Do you have like special rugs in Nigeria?
No, we just have clothes with prints on them.
Oh, I've
So
seen
it's
that.
like designer prints.
They're really colourful.
Yeah.
Is
really,
that-
really bold?
Sorry, what was that?
It's really bold. It's
Yeah.
really nice.
100%. Is that like just used for celebration?
A lot of the time, yeah, people do wear it to weddings and parties, but some people that's what they wear all the time. Like they would wear wraparound scarves and just walk around in designer scarves.
Oh, like is that like a full piece of clothing, or is that just like the scarf? Like,
Sometimes they would just wear it like around their waist,
all right,
or just dresses like normal house dresses made of that material.
okay, that's really nice. Does it come into status at all? The clothing? Like,
Not really. Everyone just wears. Everyone
really? That's excellent. Wow, that's nice. Because in England, it's very much so that you can tell, like, I suppose to an extent, you can tell the person's class and status from what they're wearing.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell sometimes because my grandmother's husband, who has sadly passed away, was a judge, and he would go to the pub, and all the builders and engineers, whatever, would be wearing suits and looking really posh, and he'd just go in a cardigan.
Oh.
Kind of like he knows his wealth, so he doesn't have to like
Dress up.
yeah, exactly. Which I find fascinating, like how much we can show through clothing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an art form in itself. Yeah. Man. What sort of films are you into?
Films, action, adventure, detective, crime, hood films. Yeah.
Hood films?
Yeah, so based in America.
Okay.
Again, the gang life, some things like that. There is a film based in the UK about gang life. Actually, it's a very bold film. Came out recently by Rap Man. The film's called Blue Story.
Oh, right, yeah, I've heard of that.
It gives you an insight into how kids in the UK live, because with all the stabbings and stuff going on, it gives you an insight into that. So it makes people understand that these kids aren't just killers for no reason.
Yeah.
Shows you what they go through.
There's two sides to every story.
Every story.
And I guess you have to see that as a lawyer.
Yeah. Always have to take into consideration.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Joker, like how he's always painted as this crazy villain. And then, have you seen the Joker?
No, I haven't, but I love his character.
Oh,
I
okay.
love his character.
I won't give too much away, but
I'm gonna watch it. Yeah.
he has this horrific backstory, and it just like it kind of like makes you sympathize with him and understand
Why he went insane.
Exactly, yeah. And he is insane. I don't even think of him as insane sometimes. I like think of him as more sane.
Sane but broken at the same time.
Yeah. Fighting the system. Man. Do you know of any other characters that are like that? Like sane but just broken down?
The Riddler from Gotham.
Oh, right.
If you watch Gotham on Netflix, a TV series.
Mm.
His name is Edward Nygma.
Oh, is that the really nerdy guy? He's got like
with
glasses.
the glasses, yeah. So
Yeah, he delivers a little cupcake with a bullet in.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen a bit of God. I think I've seen 2C. Yeah, I have. I've seen 2C.
So he's always picked on, made fun of at work because of his love of riddles. He's very smart, but he has an alter ego. So eventually his alter ego takes over
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to be victimized anymore. So he's more confident.
I remember
At the
that.
same time, psychopathic in a sense.
Yeah, and that's harsh. Like, being totally confident without any anxiety is like, it's inhuman. Like, kind of like Trump in a way.
Yeah.
Because you're not, if you're a bit anxious, then you're worried for the other person. You're taking into consideration. Whereas he just lets go completely. Goes ballistic. Does he end up murdering someone?
He goes on a killing spree. Actually, he murders the girl he loves, although she doesn't love him back.
Right.
He sees that her boyfriend is abusing her, so he kills her boyfriend, and then that's when his alter ego takes over and he goes mad. And he goes on a killing spree, bombing, killing, stabbing, shooting.
Oh yeah, he sets off that bomb.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. That is horrific. Man. I wonder where they come up with these crazy ideas for Gotham, because it started off as like smash bam pow with like the old cartoon Batman, and now it's like
Complicated people.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Man, what a series. Do you ever like see any cases where you just like feel like the character's locked down and they could solve it if they were allowed to see the evidence, something like that?
Um, Let me think. In Power, they do keep trying to arrest James St. Patrick for his numerous crimes, but they're always just one hair away from getting the evidence that they need. Just one piece of evidence to tie together the whole case, but he always manages to get away with it.
So he doesn't get the evidence.
They don't get the evidence.
Oh.
He manages to slip away.
Sorry, I didn't quite understand what you... So
he could kill someone
yeah.
in broad daylight, but he would still get away with it.
How... He hides the evidence so well, or...
He has the evidence. He changes his clothes, burns his clothes after, gets rid of the phones.
So is he a lawyer?
He's a businessman. He's a nightclub owner.
Oh, of course, yeah. I completely forgot. Yeah. Wow. That's very realistic to life.
Mm.
I respect that. It's kind of like, reminds me of Deadpool a bit. Can get away with anything.
Mm.
Still stand back up after being shot, stabbed, ripped apart.
Literally.
Like so many of those rappers as well.
Yeah.
Man. Flashing lights. Just like talk about the rappers. Man. Oh, I thought that was a police car. It was Nathan. Man. Do you know of any cases with like hip hop artists like Tekashi, things like that, where you felt passionate about them?
You have rappers like King Von, who died recently. Rest in peace, King Von. He was shot, but throughout his life, he was also a killer. He murdered multiple people, but he always managed to get away with it.
Yeah.
And this is real life situations as well. Like him and his gang would kill people. And they would always beat their murder cases. It's very strange, but the laws in America are different because you have things pertaining to self-defense and such.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll beat cases on the basis of self-defense, even though they weren't defending anything.
Do we not have that in England, or not as heavily?
Not as heavily at all, because you could still go to jail for manslaughter,
Mm-hmm.
even if you were defending yourself.
Whereas in Turkey, they'll completely let go. Sorry, in Turkey,
America.
It's in America, they'll just completely let him go free.
Yeah, they have that. They have great lawyers as well.
Wow, that's sad. Their own dream team, but it's not just. Do you know of any cases where you knew they were innocent and they got caught?
No, I do not.
Okay.
No.
Like where they got put in prison. I suppose they wouldn't tell the public if they were innocent, but
Yeah.
yeah. That's mad. Are you ever interested in the money side of things when it comes to law, or is it more your passion for the art of it all?
Oh, 100%. 100% interested in money side because I like the finer things in life. So I'd like to live in a big house,
Yeah.
cars with my kids and family. So I guess money is a big part of it.
Yeah. Understandable. There's no point living in a flat. You've got a family struggling with like
Exactly.
wage job. Yeah. What sort of a car would you go for?
I love G-Wagons, the big, massive Jeeps,
Oh yeah.
Mercedes, cars like that, black cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The G-Wagons, is that do you listen to Little Peep at all?
Lil Peep. I've heard one or two songs.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what a G-Wagon looks like. Is that the one where they've got like the little sunroof and they can have like little parties inside while they're driving along?
Something like, it's like a really, I don't know how to describe it. It's a big car. It's quite massive. It's like, you know how you draw cars on your little squares?
Wait.
Oh, you know how you draw cars when you're like that and it goes up?
Oh yes. Yeah.
So Jeep, It's like Jeep designed cars, so you have to like step up to go into it. And it has a massive front block. I don't know how to describe it.
Oh no, yes, I can imagine it now. Yeah. Like it's got like a lot of feeling of power, I guess, when you're driving that.
Yeah.
That's nice. A lot of room as well for your family.
A lot.
Are you gonna bring up a photo of a G-Wagon?
Yeah.
Perfect. And Mercedes, I guess, it's got that like lavish businessman sort of style.
Yeah.
It's like- That is so nice. Has it got like three rows of seats?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it does actually. Yeah.
Wow, man. Imagine like dropping kids off to school in that. You'd feel like a G, like, man. That is nice. Whereabouts would you want to live if you had like all of the money? If you solved the best case?
I still live in a normal area, but you know you have those normal areas with like a road of massive mansions.
Yeah.
I don't live in that sort of side.
Nice, yeah. So you're still part of a normal society.
Yeah.
You're not like living with all these millionaires that are quite. I suppose they're not all full of themselves, but it's very removed from
detached.
ordinary life.
I don't want to be detached from society.
Right, that's understandable. Yeah, it's where we all grew up.
Mm.
It's where we came from. Sorry about all the shouting, by the way, all the listeners. I don't know. I think there's like parcels being delivered or food being delivered.
All the time.
All this, nice. What sort of thing are you working on at uni at the moment, like specifically with law?
Currently, I just have essays, so I'll be given case studies and scenarios, and I'd have to give a 3,500 word essay advising them in 2 different parts.
Advising them, like
about their case, circumstances, what they would do, how they should do it, and the laws that apply to them and don't apply to them.
right. So as if you were speaking to the person that was involved in the case.
Yeah.
The person that you're defending.
Yeah.
Okay. How is that going? Are you?
It's very tiring. It's very long, but I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Are you using any tactics that? Sorry, what was her name from How to Get Away with Murder?
Annalise Keating.
Annalise Keating. Are you using any tactics she used where they're like putting the other side down? Do you have opportunity for that?
Unfortunately, I can't because I have to use the information that I have. So I have like plans from lectures and cases that we've looked at. So I have to use literally laws, statutes, and evidence references.
Okay.
So I have to do everything by the book to get the best possible mark. But I do also have to take into consideration the other side, which is how I get a better mark.
Okay. So have they given you anything for the other side? Like what they might have done, their history, anything like that?
No, you just have to look at old cases so you can compare 2 sides in general, not the other side exactly, but you just generalize other side and past cases.
And then you compare your own approach, be like that the lawyer working for that case did it like this, so I'll do it like this.
Yeah, literally.
Nice. That is really cool. That's clever. It's a similar thing that they do in investing, like in companies. They look at how it went wrong before, all this. Love that. Man, does mindfulness come into law at all?
What do you mean?
Like yoga, meditation, keeping a clear head.
Keeping a clear head, yes. Everything else, no.
Okay.
Because you have to literally fill your head up with information.
Right. And you cannot get a single. You let a word slip wrong in court, and the other side have won.
Yeah, literally.
Have you only got to write one essay?
I've got loads to write. Actually, I've got like 4.
4 essays, man. What are the other ones on?
I have EU law, tort law, public law, and human rights.
Humour, right?
Human rights.
Oh, human rights. Okay. What's the one that's interesting you most out of all 4?
Human rights and EU law.
Okay. What is EU law?
Laws about European Union. Consider the UK's left it now, but laws about citizens, movement in the country, the movement of goods, and posting stuff in and out of countries, stuff like that.
Okay. What sort of things can we like post and not post?
There aren't things we can and can't post. There aren't things that we can and can't post. We can post anything we want, but
Okay.
within reason.
Okay.
There'd be like taxes that you'd have to pay and such to post certain things.
Okay. So we can post anything as long as we have the right like forms.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
More or less, yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. So I couldn't just put like a gun in the post right now.
No.
I'd have
Okay.
to sign that off.
I don't think we're even allowed guns. So. Are we
Even
allowed
if we,
guns in the UK?
I don't know. Oh,
If you were, then no, I don't think you can have possession of a gun. Actually,
even if we have like some sort of form, or would you have to be like belonging to like security or police?
yeah,
Part of your possession,
yeah.
profession.
I think you have to have a valid reason,
Right.
as a profession, for the
Yeah.
possession of it.
That makes sense. Yeah. And what is human law?
Human rights. So
Or human?
rights to life. So currently, the case that I have to write an essay about is a prisoner killing another prisoner. But that other prisoner had a right to life, and he should have been protected by the prison. So I have to advise the prisoner's family and the other side, the person who killed him, about their rights.
Wow. So, in that case, it isn't the prisoner's fault that killed. Like, it isn't the killer's fault technically.
It is, but the prison can also be held liable,
Okay, so two people would be prosecuted: the prison and the killer.
technically. Yeah.
Right. How is that one going?
Just started it, so I'll keep you updated.
Okay, thank you. Wow. And you said a right to life?
Yeah, everyone has a right to life. There are some rights that you just have when you're born, so no one has the right to kill you,
Right.
which is basic.
Okay, that's really nice. That's comforting. Does that change in different scenarios? Like, if I was in a uni, would my right to life be different to if I was visiting a police station or a prison?
No, because it's one of your fundamental rights. Like, regardless of the circumstances, no one has the right to take your life from you.
Okay.
So the right would be the same everywhere.
And are there other rules that come into the right of life? The right to do life?
Nope.
It's just do not be killed.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Wow. What about in general of human rights? Are there other rules that come into it?
Things such as the right to vote. When you go to prison, or when certain things happen to you, you're revoked certain rights. So prisoners can't vote.
Yeah.
For example.
Understandable. I guess they wouldn't be in a fit state of mind
Yeah.
and such. Yeah. Do you know of any parts of society other than prisoners that can't vote, apart from under 18-year-olds?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Thankfully, Jesus. It wasn't. Do you know when it was that like women couldn't vote? That wasn't.
Couple 100 years ago? I'm not too
Couple
sure
hundred
now.
years. Okay. That's crazy. Like, thinking of gender is like a way of you don't have a fit state of mind to.
It's really stupid.
It is a bit, yeah. It's a Trump state of mind. I wonder if Trump would have ever gone that far if he got another 4 years.
I doubt it. Highly doubt it.
Sure.
I probably would have done something equally as stupid.
True that. Do you know of any specific stupid things that he did? Because
He did try to build a wall, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he got pretty far with that. I think they started
Did.
building it.
Yeah, but it was a very strange idea.
It was. It's the thought of a crazy man. Man, what do you think of what's his name? The really liberal president. I cannot remember his name now. Well, what do you think of Biden?
Biden. I think he's the lesser of two evils,
Yeah,
but he's just better than Trump, so we have to accept it.
100%. Yeah. Would you ever consider going into political law?
No, and that would be way too complicated for me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, mixing politics with law is really complicated.
How come?
Because politics itself is law, if you think about it. So to go into law about law would just be mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's trippy.
Very.
I don't like that. It almost removes the art of it. It's so hard.
Literally.
Jesus. Man. Do you have any other hobbies apart from law?
Nope.
Music and law?
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Those are two very artistic careers. Man. You were saying you read a lot of detective books.
Yeah, I know. I used to.
Oh, you used to.
Now it's just self-help books. Self-help books.
Yeah. What do you mean by self-help books?
So books that tell you how to, not tell you how to live, but give you advice on how to live, such as books that tell you, make sure you get your priorities in order, focus on education, how to manage money, things like that.
Right. Is that like The 7 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson? Something like
Yeah.
that? Have you read that?
No, I have a bias connected to one of the books that I've read.
All right. What book is that?
7 highly effective for teens. 7 highly effective habits for teenagers.
Oh, okay. What are those habits?
Put in first things first. Seek to understand, then be understood. The private bank account, the public bank account. Energize, I think, and then I can't remember the last 2.
I love that. It's just like a guide, like for some people that may have not had like a father figure, like that's incredible.
Yeah.
Not saying that you haven't, obviously. I don't know. I don't have a clue about that, but that is amazing.
Yeah.
I especially like the rule of seek to understand, then be understood, because it completely puts your focus on the other person, and like that's something I'm gonna keep in mind for my podcast. That is useful.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite phrases.
Yeah. What were the other ones?
The the public bank, private bank account, and the public bank account.
Okay, what are those?
I think it's sort of like the private bank account. It's not actually to do with money. It's about things you do that make you happy, and the things you do public bank account that make others happy.
Right.
So if say you make someone smile, that would go in your public bank account. Or say you make yourself smile, or you do something for yourself, that will go in your private bank account. It'll just make you positive.
That's amazing. Should that be equal then, or like more towards public or more towards private?
I think it should be equal.
Yeah, I agree with you, 100%. Because you go towards private, you'll turn a bit more like Trump, feral, business-like. But then, I suppose even men like that need a stable ground of 50-50, or maybe even more towards public, because they need to put so much attention on manipulating the world around them.
That's why Trump has so many voters, if you think about it, because he does tend to impress a certain group of people.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We've got 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
How have you found it so far?
I found it fun. It's sort of scary speaking on a platform, but it was okay.
Yeah, I'm still finding it scary. I think this is my 7th episode in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you think you'd ever do anything like this again, like public speaking, or?
I think I have to learn to do it, but until I'm older, I won't be able to actually like grasp it properly. It'll be fun, but the only reason I have to take into consideration is because I want to study law, so I would have to be more interactive.
Right, in case like a study that you're doing is televised.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Or I have to speak in court, which I will have to do eventually.
Yeah, of course. Is there a point so can you be a lawyer without speaking in court? Or?
I believe so, actually. Some lawyers just scrutinise contracts and such.
Okay, but is it like almost all criminal lawyers are in court?
Yeah, quite a lot of them.
Nice. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll see you on telly when you're when you're a criminal lawyer.
Hopefully.
That's going to be fascinating. What was your full name? Sorry.
Everyone just calls me Ayo.
Ayo. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll put your full name in the video title. Sick, man. This has been fun. I've really enjoyed this episode.
So have I.
Cool. What do you think of the shed?
It's actually quite designed nicely. It's warm. It's cold, but it looks quite nice, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. It's chilly.
Really chilly.
Are you really cold?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, it's alright. I'm barely wearing anything.
Oh, true. How are the seats? I picked that one up pretty recently.
This one's really comfortable.
Nice. Happy to hear it. That's all you need for a podcast. Just go on Facebook Marketplace, pick up some sofas for $5. Pick up a podcasting kit. Yeah. A desk, yeah. Pick up a podcasting kit for £700.
Wow.
Yeah, it was around that, I think. It was 465 for this. Yeah, it's hideous, but
It's an investment.
It is, yeah, exactly. It's an investment, like investing in a business. Have you ever thought of investing in like stocks or?
No, stocks aren't for me.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I don't blame you. Cool. We're over an hour.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
That's all right. Thank you. Bye.